Alright guys, welcome back to another video. So this is going to be the breakdown analysis of the Pokemon Direct 2025 Legend ZA reveal. So without further delay, I do have the speed adjusted and stuff already, so we're just going to kind of cut around in here. It's in Lumio City, as we know. And here we go. We get our first look at some of the environments and the Pokemon here. So we can see Vivillon and Badoo. We do not know if the Pokeball Vivillon is going to make a return during this, because previously that was an event-only distribution for X and Y. We have our new Pokemon Center design, which is actually using the corner of the street, which is how it is in X and Y, but it's still, despite being on a corner, it's still just the standard, just go in from the main way. So again, we see another Badoo. It looks like in the back here we have, looks like Pokeballs, a Luminion something maybe. Or a flower, I can't really tell. We don't know which Pokemon Center in Lumio City this is, because there are 3 of them. These gates, as we know, are going to be the entrance to the wild habitats for the area. This is basically where you can get the wild encounters and stuff. This one has a number 4 on it. I believe it said there was 6. Or maybe I saw 6 somewhere, I don't exactly remember. We don't know if there's going to be different things in each one. We can assume that there will be, but they haven't said. We get a Patrat, which this is the first official Switch game that Patrat has been in. It's also the first main series Pokemon game it's been in since X and Y / Sun and Moon. I think it could be transferred into that. I don't remember though. We do also know that some of this is going to be explorable, because we have seen the player characters jumping off roofs and stuff. Plus there's a ladder right here. Oh yeah, so here's more confirmation that that was one of the street corner ones, because we can see a street here and a street there. And then there's a taxi, so we know the taxi services from X and Y are coming back to some degree. In the background here we can see a Clawitzer and a Pikachu. Then we're assuming that this is the new Holocaster system kind of thing, but they don't really dive into that too much. See Aegislash returning. We get some Trubbish and some Garbodor. We don't know where this is, if these are going to be catchable ones or just ones that are just kind of static in the map. We'll have to wait and see on that. We have Sylveon, Chandelure, and Weepinbell. This makes me think that this is one of those mini plazas. It was like Magenta Plaza, or they were like color based. Basically they were mini plazas that were between the main streets and Prism Tower. So that's what I think this is, just kind of given the shape of it, because they were round. But we'll see. Another Pokemon Center is probably the same one. So we get our first look at the female player character here. We do not know the official names for these characters yet. We know the rivals and stuff, but they haven't revealed what the player names are. There is the updated Prism Tower, which again, I think this is the same Pokemon Center. Here is the official reveal for the starters for this game. The reason Cyndaquil is not here is because that was in Legends Arceus. So we have Totodile, Tepig, and Chikorita. It is expected that these will either get a new Mega Evolution or a new regional form, because in Legends Arceus we had the Hisuian forms, in this game we have Megas returning. So it's up in the air, could be either one or both, maybe, who knows. There's the male player character. So here are the rivals, the 2 heads of the Urban Redevelopment Plan organization. And then one of the main characters that confirms this is an XY follow-up game, AZ. So as you can see up on the top, whichever one of these you get will depend on which player character you choose. Not too surprised, honestly. They're reskins of each other, with differences being the hair and stuff. Then we get AZ's return, and this is huge. If you do not know, this is Eternal Flower Floette, which is a huge plot point in X and Y. It was originally a Pokemon that you could hack into the game, meaning it was obtainable as a planned event, but it never happened. So up until these games, there has been no mention of this Pokemon. It is a Floette. It is another form of Floette. As far as I know, it can't evolve. It can't be shiny, because again, it never released. It does have a signature move. I believe it was like Light of Ruin or something. I think it was, if I remember correctly, it was kind of like a Steel Beam, and whatever Magearna's signature move is. But basically, if you didn't play X and Y, basically what happened was AZ fired a weapon, which caused the Mega Evolution timeline and stuff to happen. To summarize it up without going into a 3-hour summary breakdown of that. Basically, AZ and this Pokemon became immortal from it. And then the whole point of X and Y, Team Flare's trying to refire the weapon to recreate their world or whatever. You stop them, obviously. And then at the end, AZ comes back. And then at the very end of the game, this Floette comes back. Because basically when he fired the weapon before, to end the Kalos War, basically, this Pokemon got caught in the fire. He fired it again to revive it. And then it left him to go do whatever. And then he spends the whole game, the whole 3,000 years, etc., trying to get back to it and have it come back to him. So these are huge characters for the plot of the game. And them being here basically means that this is post that game happening, which there's other things that confirm that later on. And yes, AZ is 9 feet tall. So if we pause right here, he has a Baniri and a Pancham in his little hairpin thing. This is speculated that there's going to be a Mega Pangoro because there's already a Mega Lopunny. And that is going to be this guy's ace. However, that is not confirmed information. It's just speculated. But don't be too surprised because they usually do try to do things like that and tease things through character design. So yeah, here's the first of the wild habitats, or whatever they're calling them. Wild zones. So we see 1, 2, and we saw number 4 earlier. So basically these are just where you go to catch the wild Pokemon. There's a number 8, so that confirms there's more than that. So now this is what's going to look like when you go in. There's a minor transition cutscene thing, but nothing too crazy. So basically we can PLA style catch them, just like that, or we can battle them. We see the trainer's team down here. See a little mini map HUD. We do get the experience from catching stuff, so that's returning. Great parking job on that taxi, by the way. So this is a huge screen. So we can see the Chikorita right here is 1 level away from evolving. They usually do this because they're trying to hide the final form or the Mega of the final form, whatever it may be. Chikorita evolves at level 16 into Bayleaf. We don't know if it's going to be a Colosian Bayleaf or just regular Bayleaf, etc. But we see a Spupa, a Fletchling, a Bunnelby, Swablu, and a Swirlix, which also means Spritzee is available because those are counterparts to each other. Swablu is here because the Megas are back. Same for Flaffy with Ampharos. But the other big piece of news here is if you look at the Chikorita's move pool, we see Razor Leaf, Leafage, Leech Seed, and Disarming Voice. So this confirms a bunch of things. This confirms that there's going to be status moves, which kind of were in Legends Arceus, kind of weren't. We see Leafage, so that confirms they're updating the Pokemon available in the game's movesets, because Chikorita doesn't learn that right now. Or maybe it does in, like, SV or something, but... The other thing here, Disarming Voice. Chikorita cannot learn Disarming Voice in any main series game right now. So, that being here, people are saying that is a hint to a Grass and Fairy Meganium. Whether that's a Mega or a form, whatever it may be. It's also the first Fairy move the Chikorita line can get. Again, not counting ROM hacks and stuff. So we know there's going to be new moves. We know there's the PLA style catching. We know there's traditional catching. We've already seen a ton of Pokemon in various forms or another. We can also see the You've Been Sighted kind of banner thing here. This was in Legends Arceus and SV, kind of by extension, but more so Legends Arceus. This basically meant that a Pokemon sees you and will target you. We don't know how that's going to transition out in this game. We also can see the green border for the wild zones. So we do know that those are multi-level areas now, not just that traditional street level. Because this person is clearly up on a roof or something. We don't know if these are going to scale to your team's level. or anything like that yet. We'll have to wait and see. So yeah, pretty exciting stuff here. People are speculating that because of the disarming voice, Meganium will be Grass Fairy. We'll get a Fire Steel and a Water Dragon. But we'll see. That's kind of a broken type combination for a starter. But anyway, that's not confirmed. All we know is new moves, updated moves, status moves, multi-level wild zones, how the team UI is going to look. We also see the Legends style of combat order here, because this was the same layout it had in Legends Arceus, showing you who would attack when. But there's also more to this. As you can see, the Flaffy here is fainted. I can catch that, yeah. So as you can see right there, this thing has no HP, and we're able to throw a Pokeball. And we know it's a knockout because of this experience. Because people were saying, oh, it's got a sliver of HP left, it's not fainted. This right here, this experience, confirms it is fainted. So for the first time ever in the franchise, we are able to throw Pokeballs at fainted wild Pokemon. Usually you just have to get them into like 1 HP or something. If they faint, you can't catch it. So that's pretty big. It's going to make catching stuff a lot easier and a lot faster. Because you don't have to worry about KOing shinies accidentally or something as much now. I'm sure this isn't going to be an every time thing, and there's probably going to be some caveat to it. But yeah, catching fainted wild Pokemon is now a thing. As you can see right here with this Flaffy. Once again, they're specifically not showing the Chikorita evolve. So then we move on to the battle system. So what makes this game's battle system unique is that it's going to be real-time combat, which includes timing your attacks, your switches, and your dodging, as you're about to see here. We also see Tepig getting rollout, and Totodile just running away from it. And as you can see right there, the Tepig mostly dodged the water gun. However, it did still land, so it did about half its HP, when normally that probably would have one-shot it. We see Lucario here with its traditional moveset. Bullet Punch, Aura Sphere, and Dragon Pulse. Down here we also see a Diggersby, a Male Pyroar, a Roserade, a Aromatisse, and Kangaskhan. We see an option to run away, which is this minus button over here. We see Lucario using Protect to avoid a Moonblast. Now this is another big thing too. If you aren't familiar at all with the anime, when they use Stealth Rock and Spikes and Toxic Spikes and stuff, they do damage versus just get set up on the field. And I'm going to stop talking here and just watch what happens. As you can see right there, the Talonflame took Stealth Rock damage because it used Flame Wheel into the Stealth Rock. That is huge because that is not how Stealth Rock works in the prior games. That is how it works in the anime. Which means they are also updating field moves. We see Gumi. We don't know if the Hisuian form is going to be available for applicable Pokemon or other forms for that matter. We see Pidgeotto, Hippowdon, Slurpuff, Skiddo, and Flaffy. We don't know if there's going to be any new Megas yet. They haven't revealed anything. There probably will be, but we don't know. And then we get the return of Mega Evolution. So the only Megas we know right now are the mostly returning ones. They haven't done any of the legendaries. But all the ones from X, Y, and ORAS that aren't legendaries and stuff have pretty much been shown. We see the newly designed Mega Ring. We see Absol return, Charizard, Kangaskhan, Ampharos, Lucario, etc., etc. Now this is where things get interesting. As you can see, there's a lot to break down here. So it seems like when a Pokemon Mega evolves, its moves change. We have Night Slash, Shadow Claw, Air Slash, and Stone Edge with a G symbol under them. We can only assume that means it's a boost from the Mega Evolution. And if you look at the bottom right of the screen, we also see that Mega Evolution is on a timer. This means that the Mega Evolution is not for the duration of the entire battle, unless obviously you win the battle while it's still going. This is completely different from how it worked in X and Y, whereas in X and Y and ORAS and Sun and Moon, Ultra Sun, Ultra Moon, when you Mega Evolved something, it stayed Mega Evolved until the whole battle ended, or the Pokemon fainted. Which people were saying, oh, Mega's kind of OP, it's kind of busted, if it were, how are they going to make it work on Switch, yada yada yada. Well, this is clearly how they're going to do that. So there's Mega Charizard X, Mega Kangaskhan. Oh, wait, was that an area of effect? Hold on. Yeah, watch this Trubbish right here that's running to the right. Yeah, the move has... Interesting. Is an AoE. Because he attacks on the Garbodor, but then the Trubbish gets stunned. Interesting. We just get some more screenshots of Pokemon just kind of going around. Fletching on a lamppost once again. We'll throw back to XY. This is the other thing that confirms this is post-XY. If you did not play X or Y, when you beat the game you unlocked a post-game side quest with Looker and the remnants of Team Flare. And this was the office that occurred in. And we know this is post-XY because of this photo with the Esper. Because during that quest you meet someone who has an Esper as their partner, and then at the end of the quest line, that person takes over the office. So this photo being here means that that person is still running this. I'm not going to say who, even though the game's been out for years. So there's a ton of confirmation that this is post the events of X and Y. This and then AZ and other things. We see the return of the Zygarde cells, which means if you liked hunting for them in Generation 7, get ready. You get a screenshot of the trainer looking at Prism Tower from a roof. We get the coming late 2025 date. We do not have a time frame for this. And then it goes into some weird teaser thing. So that is the trailer. We got a lot of information here, even though it wasn't really anything too new. We don't have a release date yet, so that confirms there will probably be 1 to 2 more trailers, which will probably have some new stuff or more story-based stuff in them. So now we're going to switch gears to the website. Then we have this official map of Lumio City. I've already looked through it all. There isn't any new information in here. We just see some Pokemon around. Scatterbug. Startrim Furfrou, which we do know all the Furfrous are going to be available, which will make getting the shinies of them if you're going for a shiny form dex and stuff in home a lot easier. Then we get into the wild zones, which once again, these are basically just the mini wild areas where you can catch stuff. See more screenshots of it in action. Yeah, as you can see here, it doesn't say anything about the trainer names. We'll find that out later. We don't know if these are going to be regional forms or mega evolutions, like I said. Then we get into just a summary of Zygarde. There's no new information here. We already know about the 10, 50, and complete forms. We see the mega evolutions return. Again, this doesn't say anything about the timer, but we also don't know what, if any, new ones there will be yet. So we just have to kind of stay tuned for that. And then releasing in 2025. Yeah, if you saw anything that I didn't talk about or mention, put that down in the comments. This is probably going to be around a holiday 25 would be my guess. Because it did say a late 25. Usually that means holiday, but we don't know for sure. Yeah, I'm pretty excited for this game. Legends Arceus was one of the best games they've ever made. So looking real forward to another one in that series. Yeah, if you enjoyed the video, leave a like on it. The trailer is just on the YouTube channel. That's where I got it from. Or it's on the website here. It's the same trailer, so yeah, stay tuned for more videos, and I will see you next time.